Be a bit patient with me. Okay, I can hear you now. Fantastic. Yeah. Why is my TikTok not working? On there. Oh, okay. It's all right now. It's all right now. Okay, great. No volume again. What about now? How about now? Is it better now? Is it better now? Can you hear me? Yeah. The mic is too far away from me. Yeah. Now I have it placed closer to me, so I guess you can hear me now, right? Yeah. Okay, good to see everyone. Yeah, fantastic, much better. Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, so first of all, how are you guys? Are you ready to start your wait, what date is it? Is Tuesday? Wait, is it Wednesday? Wait, is it Thursday? My goodness. It's Wednesday. Okay. Are you ready to start your Wednesday or finish your Tuesday? My friend. Hello, hi. It's all the Baron 135. Good morning, Nyo Nyo. Hello, how are you, my friends? How are everyone? I am all good. Oh, good to see so many familiar faces. And my friend, okay, again, as usual. So, this live stream is about China, about myself, about anything you want to discuss. So, if you guys have any questions about China, just like on this paper fan, I tailor made it as you can see on this paper fan. So, if you have any questions about China, about myself, about anything you feel like talking about, just send in the comments, okay? Just send in the comments, and the be we would be having a very interesting and fun morning, okay? As usual, yeah. So, like, if you have any questions about China, like you would like to discuss with me, I am 100% Chinese. Can definitely send it in the comments, okay? And yeah, we can definitely discuss a lot of interesting topics every day, okay? So, yesterday I got a question from one of my follower, Christy. So, but Christy, could you please be a little bit patient with me because I just woke up, so my brain hasn't really fully functioned yet. I want to be really detailed and very, how to say, give you very good answers when it comes to the question you asked. So just give me a bit of time to let my brain turn on. So I'll first focus on some other easier questions. I'll then come back to your question, okay? If that is okay with you, okay? Yeah. What is considered to be the best city to live in China among Chinese people? There are many cities that is considered to be the best city to live in. It really depends on what are the things you're looking for, okay? So, for example, for people who are looking for a lot of business opportunities to develop business, then they would go to first tier city like Shanghai, like Shenzhen, to start up a business and be an entrepreneur. And the people who want to just have a very easy life, a relatively more relaxing kind of life, so it would be better to just live in like relatively not so first tier city, like for example, fourth tier city, and even sometimes fifth tier city, because those are the city have relatively low cost and people have a lower pace of living, considered to be more comfortable. So it really depends on what you want. And as a matter of fact, like many cities in China are considered to be a very good place to live because China, overall speaking, is so super convenient, right? Yesterday I showed you guys the video of those the convenience store kind of car, right? A mobile vending car, right? These are all the technologies that's available not only in the first tier cities but also in many other cities as well. So yeah, and let me see what's other. Who is paying you for this nonsense? You haven't really listened to me, Uncle Slappy. You haven't been in my life for long. You haven't really listened to me to talk. It would be too fast and too judgmental to come to the conclusion that I'm talking nonsense, okay? If possible, stay longer and listen to me to share what I want to share and what I am able to share. And I hope that I could change your like nonsense type of impression on me that I am just nonsense, okay? And nobody is paying me, okay? Nobody is paying me to do this, okay? So don't jump to conclusion too fast, okay? So overall speaking, my followers in the live chat room and this like live stream, overall speaking, are of very high quality, very educated, and have very strong critical thinking. And people's comment people when I ask people like what do you think about this live stream, when people are asked about like their impression on me and on this live stream, most people would use the kind of words like insightful, educational, very interesting, very engaging, those kind of things to describe this live stream. Okay, so Uncle Slappy, even though your question, which is who is paying you for this nonsense, is pretty rude and pretty nonsense itself. Still, I welcome you to stay for longer and listen to me and listen to this live stream and then judge after you have really listened to me to what I am able to share. Okay. Yeah. So they're being reduced to one meal, and people that China has made peasants have gone back home. What are you saying? What are you saying? No idea. Yeah. Most of the time, there's a guy called Politics Back Again, something like that. I to be honest, I really don't understand the kind of comments and the kind of question he is always asking. you know. She's beautiful. Thank you, Fatigue Man. You're selling China well. I'm actually not selling. I'm just very proud to be Chinese and proud of my country. And I know there are people out there in this world who are genuinely interested in knowing more about China, knowing more about culture, knowing how to do business with us, and how do everyday Chinese people just live our lives, right? And also what's the technology going on in here. So I'd love just to share, okay? I wouldn't call it a sell because I got nothing from doing this, right? I am just basically sharing with people from around the world who are genuinely interested in China, knowing more. And I'm trying my very best to just share with people. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, let's see what the other things. Greenland is hoping a lot from China. I wish, my friend. I know. I want to live in China. Yeah, that's fantastic. Let's see what's the other comments in here. Yeah. Maybe someone is indeed willing to pay you and you can make some money. Yeah, thank you, Polo. Yeah, yesterday we were having this very in-depth conversation about like if you are a ruler of a country, like how would you choose to between like letting the rich helping the poor or just letting the poor be as they are, like those kind of like very interesting kind of conversations, right? And there are people say that you should just run for president. I would vote for you. It was so interesting. 妹妹，我支持你，谢谢琴音乐，谢谢呀，谢谢你。Yes, it's very nice earring, right? This is a new pair of earrings, my friend. Do you guys like them? Because I told you multiple times that I already started my cross-border e-commerce together with my team, right? And the first things that we're gonna sell is the accessory because I am very passionate about it. Just so you guys know, the website of that is all set up. It's just that we are waiting for the kind of products to be shipped to the US and other countries, and then we can then sell it. So I will later on release this website to you guys. So if anyone who are interested in the kind of earrings that I'm wearing, that you think I have a good taste when it comes to accessories, and you want to enjoy those kind of accessories as well, can definitely go to my website to take a look. Okay, so I'll definitely share with you guys the address of the website later. And also, just so you know, so all these like kind of earrings, I source them directly from those factories that manufactures the exact like luxuries brands, kind of accessories. So there are so many factories here in China, the manufacturers here in China who are able to produce really high quality products, accessories, or like luxury brands kind of stuff, but at extremely cheap price. But however, with a logo of those big names, the price is like skyrocket high. So that's why I source those accessories directly from those factories. And well, with my own logo, which is pretty, relatively speaking, very affordable. And then we'll just do that. Okay. Yeah. So that's a kind of my very first business. So that's the first thing we will do. And later on, we will expand the business to other products because I know there are many people coming in and asking, hey, can you source, for example, 3C products directly? Hey, can you source some kitchenware directly? I know you guys have lots of needs. Okay, it's just watch me grow. I'm gonna start from something small because this is pretty, how to say, when it comes to transportation, the cost is pretty low. Not pretty low, it's actually not low at all. It's just relatively lower compared to other products. Say, for example, if you want me to source a microwave, right, then that's going to be more expensive when it comes to transportation cost, right, because it's heavier, right? So we started from this as trial. And after everything has worked out well, then we're going to expand our sourcing our product list from not only accessories but also some other stuff that you guys really need, okay? Because I know there are many followers of mine who are males and yeah, and you guys might not want to buy accessories for yourself. Probably you can buy some for your wives or your girlfriends or your moms. Mother Days is coming, but you wouldn't want to just purchase a lot for everyday life, right? And unlike girls like us, right? So yeah, so definitely just watch me grow, okay, my friends, and definitely follow me. And I am an entrepreneur, just so you guys know. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and it would be great if you guys watch me grow and how I am able to start something small and from the small, and we expand to something big. And you guys are the one who are helping me to grow and watch me grow. Okay? Yeah. When will your website go live? I'm curious. It's actually already live. It's already live. It was live yesterday, but I haven't really just broadcast to all the people in here. So we have already tested yesterday. So we first designed a website that is pretty simple, and we were in the process of upgrading it. We're in the process of upgrading it to a more delicate, a more fancy kind of design. So a very simple version of website is already okay, and we have set up all the payment system. Like we ourselves have already placed the first order. Everything has already running like very smoothly. So that's why I feel like starting from today, I can just launch in and just tell people about this website. So you guys can definitely check it out. And if possible, of course, it's not a must. It's more like a request, more ask for a support from you guys. Like just try to place an order as a support to your beloved Nytrix. Okay. So later I'm just gonna tell you guys all about this website address in my chat group. Okay. So for people on Red Note, if you guys haven't really followed me, follow me in here. Okay. So first of all, follow me in here, and second, join my chat group in here. Okay. Join my chat group in here. So if you think these are like very delicate kind of necklace and earrings and also like bracelets, I am super passionate about accessories. So yeah, oh, I can't wait to place an order from your site. Thank you, Louis the Cat. You're always such a supporter. Thank you for making my day that much more enjoyable. Hector, I should be the one to say thank you because of your support, as well as many other people's support that makes my live stream become so enjoyable. Like I feel so enjoyable and I feel so happy whenever I start the live and see so many familiar faces like you, Hector, Louis the Cat, Crystal C, and no talk, like all those kind of like familiar faces. And also was Mandy sorry, Paula Mendes, right? Yeah, so many like familiar faces, and I like you guys so much. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so many questions in here. um yeah, so I need accessories for my phone. Yeah, sure, we can come up with that as well. You're extremely beautiful and smart. uh okay, not gonna read the second sentences. Why don't you just sell in TikTok shop? Yes, I will, Jay. Yeah, 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 will. So we have already applied and opened the TikTok shop there, and we are in the application process of listing the products. So once the products listing has been approved, then people can place orders directly from the TikTok shop. So it's doing that as well. Okay. Thank you so much for the nice suggestion. Okay. Yeah, thank you. You look stunning. And guys, follow me, please. Okay. Follow me, please. 说英文这么流利哈，国六月，所以多进来听一听啊，听完了以后，你的英文也能这么流利。有一些朋友说一开始听得磕磕绊绊，但是到现在已经基本上都能听懂了。我讲的还是属于相对比较慢，而且使用的词汇都相对比较简单，所以可以进来多听听，多学学哦。Yeah. A shopkeeper I know like to say that women will always always buy shiny things. That is so true, my friend. We like shiny things a lot. Yeah, so it's also so interesting that 为什么中国人说英文总是手上那么多动作？其实不是中国人，是我个人的习惯。我特别嗨的时候讲话就会手舞足蹈。Yeah, so it's actually so I actually really like to wear all sorts of like accessories during daily lives, right? And when I start live streams, you would notice that, well, most of the case, I don't like change a lot when it comes to clothes. However, when it comes to accessories, for example, today I wear certain accessories, and the very next day I just feel like, oh, I have already worn it. Maybe I should just try something else because I got bored with it. And so, like, we just want to just buy some more accessory and change the accessories from every day and make ourselves to look like something new, right? More fresh, our very new ourselves, and then like every day will feel very different. And also, like for example, even though this is a pretty ordinary type of shirt t-shirt, right? It's a Uniqlo kind of t-shirt. It's like nothing, and it's not expensive at all. However, somehow with those kind of beautiful accessories, somehow you just make the person of myself like look so much more elegant and so much better, right? However, if I remove everything, just wear this plain t-shirt, I'm just basically looking like someone at home, relaxing, not at all look like a host. Am I the only one lagging? Is there anyone else lagging? Yeah, I don't think, to be honest, Hector, I don't think Red Note would be lagging because it's domestic internet. However, when it comes to TikTok, it might lag. Yeah, so I guess it might be you only lagging. You speak pretty clearly. Thank you, Jesse James. Yeah, Greenland is the greatest country in the world because Greenland never had a wall with any country. Yeah, so for countries that don't have walls with others, you guys are great. Yeah, it lags. Ah, okay. So it's lagging on TikTok, Monique. Ah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so I might need to look into the internet today. Yeah, I forgot about it. Does China manufacture self-defense? What was that? Yeah, what do you think about society? Where are we heading? Thank you. That's a very big question, Tony. Can you actually narrow it down? Like, because society is such a huge topic, right? There are so many aspects inside society. So if you want me to answer this question, please come to a smaller perspective. Okay, for example, you can ask me like, what do you think about education, like kind of thing, right? You can also ask me, what do you think about healthcare, those kind of things. That is a small, considered to be a smaller subject, then I can answer. Otherwise, if you ask me, what do you think about society, then I, to be honest, I don't know where to start. Okay, so okay, I think like I am pretty like refresh right now. So where's the link of website? Thank you, my friend, Baby Yoda. So Baby Yoda, have you guys joined? Have you joined my Red Note followers group? So I will release this website in my followers group, all my followers group. So if you haven't joined my followers group, join this follower group, okay? This followers group, okay? So I will later on tell you guys in this followers group. Okay, great, Baby Yoda. Yeah, thank you so much for your guys' support. Yeah, thank you so much for your guys' support. Okay. So, okay, Christy, are you still there? Christy Little C, are you there? So, I'm gonna answer your question because I feel I'm all ready to answer those, like, relatively speaking, more complicated kind of questions. Okay. So, first of all, since you asked me this question separately in the in the message, so I'm gonna just make sure you're here before I answer it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Chrissy Little C is my very lovely follower, and she asked me this question yesterday. Okay, she sent a separate message to me and asking me like, how can we able to make presentation or make a speech in public very confidently and very fluently, and would not come across the situations where all of a sudden our brain just goes blank and do not know anything to say. And also, how am I able to be so eloquent and always have stuff to talk about? Okay, so that is her question. If that is the same question you guys have, I'm gonna just share my secret sauce with all of you guys, okay? So I am, first of all, again, gonna just repeat the question again from Chrissy Little C. So Chrissy Little C asked me that how can we able to make good presentation or good speech, especially in front of public, and also like people are curious about like how am I able to be so eloquent and just can keep on just talking for 2 hours and every day nonstop without coming across a kind of situation where my brain just all of a sudden goes blank. Okay, so that is the kind of question by Crystal Little C, and I'm going to share with you guys my secret sauce. Okay, so well, first of all, I got lots of training back then in the university years. Okay, so I was in the English speech club back then, and I got lots of training. And I myself also attended the National English Speech Contest in Shanghai, and I was the number 3 in Shanghai back then. That was many years ago. So without losing yourself, yeah, right. So okay, then when are your products available here in TikTok? Made available in Southeast Asia. So far not available in Southeast Asia, Monique, but we'll try to do it later on. Okay. Yeah. So I joined Speech Club back then when I was around 19 years old, 20 years old, and then I was able to reach number 3 in the national English speech competition here in Shanghai. And then, pretty got like lots of professional training. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys a lot of the things that I learned back then and lots of the skills that I'm still having today. Okay, so first of all, so the first suggestion to you, little C, is usually when you have to make a presentation in public or make a speech in public, right? You are always going to share on one topic. For example, someone asked me a very big question, which is, what do you think about society? That is definitely a very, very big topic. Okay. So, first of all, you have to choose a topic that is not that big so that you cannot, you know, elaborate it because it is just too grand. Okay. So just try to narrow down to a topic that you're comfortable with. Okay. For example, when it comes to society, there are so many things we can talk about, right? We can talk about education, we can talk about like birth rate, we can talk about marriage, we can talk about healthcare, right? There are basically so many things you can talk about. So, first of all, just decide on a topic that is considered to be like specific, not too big. Okay, not too big. So that's the first thing. Okay. So for example, when Tony asked me, what do you think about society? Then okay, I feel like okay, there are so many things I can share. Then I'm gonna first narrow down to one certain topic, which is I can share my thought on education. Then I can say I'm gonna make this topic to be what do I think about the education system in China. Okay, so that's going to be easier. Okay, so first of all, narrow down your topic or just make yourself a topic that is good enough to elaborate with limited time. Okay, so that's the first thing. And the second thing is you have to be very logical. So if you remember back then in our university entrance examination, 在中国的高考, it also happened in other countries' system, right? When you have to attend your own like your own mother tongue language examinations, right? They always ask you to write an essay. 中国的这个高考里边，语文也要写一篇作文的，很多时候这个作文是议论文，对吧？你们记得。So I think like in all the countries, like there are examinations about your own language, and people are asked to write essays. Like people are trained with ability to write an essay using their own language, right? And if you are learning a foreign language, you also learn like how to write an essay in a foreign language, right? That's just like a must. So if you remember back then when we were learning like what kind of essay, how to write an essay, the teacher taught us that you need to write an essay in a very structured way, right? So first of all, especially when you are, writing an essay to express an opinion, there are multiple things. Lots of exams are oral in Italy high school, some for an hour or more. Oh, really? Lee the cat, that's very interesting to know. So in Wait, can you tell me a bit more? Like, how are the exams oral? Like, if it's primary school, like all the exams are oral, lots of exams are oral, I can understand. You just ask the students come over and recite a poem. However, when it comes to senior high school, like for example, maths, how can it be oral? Don't quite understand. Louis the Cat, can you tell me more about it? It's very interesting to know about it, right? Okay, so back to the topic. So we were discussing about, for example, when we were little, when we taught how to write an essay, if you remember, the teacher was said that, okay, first of all, you need to, in the first paragraph, you need to tell people what's your main opinion. Okay, you have to first of all come up with an opinion, like a major opinion, right? For example, people ask me like, what do you think about the education system here in China? So you first of all need to tell like what's your opinion, right? You think it's good or you think it's bad or you think it's something else, right? First of all, what is your opinion? So you have to start from a bigger opinion. And then second, you're going to break it down into, for example, three sub opinions. Okay. Three sub opinions. For example, okay, I can say that I think, the education system here in China is good. So that is my major opinion, right? And afterwards, I'm going to use three sub opinions to support my major opinions. For example, I think it is good in the sense that it's very efficient. This is the first sub opinion. And the second sub opinion can be I think it is good in a sense that students are very encouraged to do, to build a very solid solid fundamentals when it comes to science, for example, math, right? Chinese people are said to be very good at mathematics, right? So that's a second opinion. Then you can also come up with a third sub opinion, which is I think China's education is good because blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, and then under each sub opinion, you're going to then elaborate. You're going to use, for example, to support your opinion. For example, when I said my first sub opinion is that I think China's education system is very efficient, then I'm gonna elaborate, right? The reason why I think it is very efficient is because, first of all, you see, I have this kind of habit where I would like to say, like, first of all, second of all, and third, so these are all like sub opinions, right? So I'm going to use lots of like examples to support my opinions, okay? Yeah, I think it is very efficient because all the students will have to attend the college entrance examination in order to get into the universities. And that is the only exam people here need to attend. And we don't need to write a personal per PA was a personal statement. PS, right? We don't need to write personal statement, and we don't need to write personal statement, and we don't need to attend interviews as long as we are able to score high, and then we are able to get into university. So you will not see any delays when it comes to university admission, and also universities can very quickly screening the students and see who they want to recruit just based on like how high the score is. So usually everything can be just finished within 1 to 2 months, even though you're looking at a country with 1.4 billion populations. And every year we have like millions and millions of students graduated from senior high school and wanting to get into universities. Okay. So you see the whole kind of structure. Crystal, see, did you see the kind of whole structure? So you come up with a major opinion, and then it's going to be like sub opinion supported by the structures, and then your second sub opinion supported by some other evidence and stories, supported by, and then a third sub opinion supported by examples, elaborations, and then it comes to conclusion. Then, okay, so based on what I just shared with you guys, I think it is very important that we realize that China's education system is very good. And then you could also, just share some critical thinking of yourself by sharing some other side's opinions, right? For example, I would say, right, so even though I think that China's education system has lots of strengths, lots of advantages of self, like I said, it's very efficient, it builds students a very good fundamentals, especially when it comes to science. However, there are still things that our education system needs to improve on. Okay. So, for example, when we are having a too efficient kind of system, some people, some students who are like biased when it comes to talent, for example, some students who are extremely good at mathematics, but extremely bad at English, literature, those kind of subjects, then they will then got not enough opportunities to get into university. So I think like we should do blah blah blah, to help those kind of students, and then you can start another smaller topic around that site to make your entire presentation look more well-rounded. Okay? To make your entire conversation look more well-rounded. So it's very important if you want to practice it so that you can be very confident to talk in public, to make a presentation, make a speech. It's always very important that you have all those kind of structures in your brain. You have to really practice it. 不是英文专业哦，不是英文专业。It's very important you have to practice it so that like whenever you talk, you no longer have to think about everything. Those kind of structures just always comes into my brain. So for example, right for now for me, the reason why I am able to just be so eloquent and so like I'm so able to just talk to you people and share lots of opinions. And lots of the time I got criticized that once I started talking, I just don't look at the screen and read the comments, okay? That is because, I have all those structures on the things that I want to share, and I'm just so focused on sharing the kind of things. And I know some other hosts, their style is just reading and replying to the comments, right? And I most of the time don't do that, right? So because my style is more like making presentation, making a speech to people, and the how am I able to do that is just like that. Okay, so Christy Little C, is that all clear to you? I'm gonna first of all answer some of the question. I haven't really read many comments. I'm gonna just how many languages can you speak? So I can speak English, I can speak Mandarin, 中文哈，中文是母语讲是最好的。My Mandarin is definitely my very best language because that is my mother tongue. And also since I'm from Shanghai, so I can speak local Shanghainese dialect as well, right? And also because I work in Hong Kong, so I can also speak Cantonese. I learned German for like around 2 months, but I mostly just forgot everything. Only remember those very tiny little like sentences. So that's all. Yeah. If you had to move from China, which country would you choose? Oh, well, if you ask me now, I would say Spain. I would say Barcelona. I really like Barcelona. So I was in Barcelona in June 2023, and that was my very first time to Barcelona. And I really like the vibes in there. Well, to be honest, I think like Barcelona is a very noisy city. Like everyone is just, I don't know, the overall vibes is just like very happy, and everyone is just like doing lots of fun things. That's my impression on Barcelona. So if I move, I would want to try and live in that city. Yeah. You will make an amazing businesswoman. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Talk to the chat more. It sounds like a robot. Yeah, I know. Yeah. What do you think of Confucianism? So Confucianism is the fun well, the founding philosophy, the founding how to say 孔夫子的这个学问应该是中国的学问里边的很基础的一个部分。I would say Confucianism is like the very basis of the Chinese philosophy. So many of the modern Chinese virtues are all based on back then what Confucius has taught every Chinese people. So I have shared multiple of that. Yeah, if I was young, I would move to China. Well, it's never a matter of young or old. You can always move to China, my friend. Life is full of possibilities. Life is full of possibilities. So you can just you only live once, right? YOLO, you only live once. So just go wherever you want to go. And I'm pretty sure you can just afford like 2 months, right? Just try to stay in some other places for 2 months. I'm pretty sure you guys can do that, right? Yeah. So have a try and see if you really like it. If you really like it, then you do it. I understand you may have jobs, you have a family to take care of. Those might also like limit you from moving to another country, right? However, I mean, if you are audacious enough, you can definitely have a try. You can just do it as an experiment, right? Just move to the city for around like 3 weeks, right? I'm pretty sure like your family would allow you to leave and move to another place for 3 weeks if they really love you. So just try, my friend. Yeah. 表达能力真强，1个小时比我1个星期说的话都多，厉害。太能叭叭了，是不是？Yeah, and guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. So let me see. I haven't really read. Okay, practice makes perfect. Yes, exactly. Chrissy Little C. Okay. Yeah. So is it possible to live in China forever? Yes, it is possible to live in China forever as long as you're able to find a job and find someone who can sponsor your visa. Or actually, you can also open a company yourself and using that company to apply for a visa. However, it's you must have some like skill sets. Like there is like really some business you're doing. Okay. So I have previously done an interview with a friend here in Shanghai who is a Bulgarian and entrepreneur, and he opened a company himself here in Shanghai using the company he opened to apply for a visa for himself. And he's able to stay in China and Shanghai for a long time. And then he also said that, well, he was never like just faking it by, applying for a company, something like that, because some foreigners did that before. So lots of foreigners, they just started a company and said they're going to teach English here. And as a matter of fact, they're only just using that as a way to get visa. So somehow that doesn't work anymore. So you have to, really get an occupation in here, either by finding a company that can sponsor your visa and then you can work here, or you can just found a business in here as a way to get visa. So somehow that doesn't work anymore. So you have to, really get watermelon. I used to eat a lot during summer times. That is only in a 80 a B a B type of ABCD, ranking B kind of 80 scores. I can just score 80%, 80 score, 80分 to that watermelon. Definitely not at its best time. Yeah. I want a company to sponsor me, please. Then go look for a job. There are lots of websites, I think. Well, I told you guys I'm gonna make a video just sharing what are the websites that you guys can foreigners can just go and check and look for jobs. And Yeah, we'll try to make a video of that. I forgot about it. Yeah, so there are too many things, but I will. Yeah. Doesn't China consume some of 70% of the world's watermelon? Oh, really? I'm not so sure about that. So we love watermelon so much here in China. And I saw so many there are a video that went viral like somehow like in America like I saw people purchase a watermelon and the watermelon looks like plastic. Like you can just fold it, the watermelon. Very different from the watermelon we're eating in here. Yeah. Okay, when you make the video, I will check. Yeah, so guys, follow me, please. Okay, so follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Yeah. Brett, what's Brett said? Like, I saw Karina is answering. Is free to visit and go. Yeah, China's free to visit and go. Yeah. How about if you retired and have enough money to care for yourself? Not so sure about that part. Not so sure about that part. Not so sure like if people have retired, if they are able to just spend their retired life in China. To be honest, I'm not so sure. I'm pretty sure you can just travel in China and stay in here for longer. So, for example, in some other countries, especially for countries like Australia, like New Zealand, those are the countries who have like 30 days visa free to travel to China, which means that for those passport holders, they can just come to China and stay for 1 month. So what many people can do is they can just spend 1 month in China, right, and leave China, go back to the country, go to some other country, and stay for another 1 month, and fly back to China and stay for 1 month again. Just take turns on China, out China, in China, outside China. Something like that. Yeah. Some countries have retirement visas. Oh, okay, interesting to know. Well, I'm not so sure we have retirement visas here in China. Yeah, it would be good if there is any Chinese friends that can help me search, Google it, and see if we have retirement visa so that we can let our foreign friends who are about to retire or looking to live in China know the answer. Yeah, I myself don't know about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so rush hour shaped my view on China. Yeah, there are so many people. Yeah. But if you're old, it's difficult to travel every month because health problems. Yeah, yeah, I can tell. Yeah. So the healthcare system here in China is pretty good as well, my friend. So it's good in a way that, how to say, it's good in a way that I think well, I used to think it's not good. However, like recently, after having talked to so many people in the live stream, I consider our system to be quite good because the like most famous doctors are all like you can actually just go to see the most famous doctors here in China without the need to pay a lot of extra money. So in that sense, that's definitely considered to be quite good in here. Yeah. So it's just one problem is that, well, for foreigners, you guys might not know how to speak Chinese. So if you're visiting a hospital in here, that can be a problem. So for example, I shared with you this Bulgarian friend, right? And he's saying that even though he wants to go to the public hospital, which is super cheap and has the best doctors, but because he cannot speak very good English, good Chinese, so he could only visit those private hospitals, which charges like very high and same amount of money that people in the that they charge in countries like US, which is like very, very expensive. And just so you know, like many Chinese people who are currently living abroad, for example, Chinese people living in the US could actually just fly all the way from US to China to do the surgery. There was a very interesting story told by one of my friends. He said he used to study and work in Germany, and those are the countries with relatively smaller populations. A very funny story. Okay, that's a very funny story. And somehow he got this thing. Okay, let me see how to translate it into English.他得了痔疮，他跟我讲这个故事，我当时把我笑死。就他得了痔疮。Let me see how to say it in English. This little thing, uh, hemorrhoid. Do you guys know what hemorrhoid is? Hemorrhoid. So this is the kind of thing that you grow, and people not you grow. Okay, people grow in their ass. Okay, around their asshole. Hemorrhoid. Okay, the hemorrhoid thing. Okay, so it's actually a very pretty commonly seen kind of disease because there is a saying in Chinese that 10男9痔, which means out of 10 men, 9 got hemorrhoid. Okay, so how many of you guys have hemorrhoid? Can you tell me? If you hemorrhoid, type 1. If you don't, type 2. Okay. Just joking. Okay. You don't need to tell me that. Okay. Zero. Yeah. Yeah. Very explicit. Yeah. It's very explicit as always, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there's a Chinese saying, like I said, out of 10 men, like 8 or 9 have like hemorrhoid problems, right? So the thing is that, this friend, so back then when he was working in Germany, and then 进来就听到有味道的内容是吗？Just 赶紧关注啊，赶紧关注。And then he had this hemorrhoid problem, and somehow this hemorrhoid ball just grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and somehow he was like so painful he had to visit the hospital. So he visited the hospital in Germany. And then somehow what happened is that in Germany, I'm not so sure, like, is there any German in the live stream? He doesn't know. Is it because not many German got hemorrhoids, or it's because German people after they got hemorrhoid they don't visit doctors? Somehow, like he visited doctor in the hospital in Germany to ask the doctor how he should do with his hemorrhoid because his hemorrhoid was so big, it was like so painful every day. And then the doctor was like, oh my God, this is so interesting. And then that doctor asked the doctor next to her to come and see. So okay, just imagine, okay, just picture it, okay? So my friend lying on the bed with his legs open and let the doctor see his hemorrhoid. And then the doctor like, oh, that is a very big hemorrhoid. I've never seen it before. Okay, wait a second. And then this doctor asked another doctor to come see his very same hemorrhoid, right? A very big hemorrhoid. And just imagine my Chinese friend lying on the bed with his legs open. And then later on, this doctor said, oh my God, yeah, this is a very unique case. We're just going to ask all the students come in to see it. So later on, they asked all the student doctors, the practice doctors to come over to watch his hemorrhoid. So he was surrounded by so many doctors, and there are male doctors. There are also female doctors, right? And then 正在吃早餐，好被围观了。Yeah，对，是的。你想想看，他下半身是没有穿的。He was basically wearing nothing down below, right? He was wearing nothing. He was wearing nothing. He was lying on the bed with his legs opened, right, like a frog, right? And then all the doctors were just looking at his hemorrhoids, and some are like very young girls, right? Because like intern doctors, right? Student doctors. And he was like so embarrassing, but he has nothing to do because he wanted his like big hemorrhoids to be treated. So what happened is that, okay, so the doctor said that, okay, you know what? We have already seen it. But the thing is that we have no experience of treating it. So I guess the only thing you can do is just go back home and take some rest. And we're going to use a very conservative way of treating it. And 医生是前任吗？做的那么绝，就是德国医生，German doctors, yeah. So holy damn, right? Yeah, yeah. You can also see his other things exactly. So like his other things are all just exposed to so many doctors. Like every doctor no matter it's like men or women or boys or girls, right? Because the two doctors, like his doctor and his doctor brought another doctor, and another doctor just brought so many other intern doctors, right? And those intern doctors are basically just university or postgrad students who are like extremely young, right? And they just come over, and everyone was surrounding him and looking at his big hemorrhoids and his other things, right? That's so funny. And he was like later on just told us about this story. Like he was like so embarrassed. And what made him so pissed off is that after that, like the doctor had no ways to treat him. The doctor was like, oh, okay, you know what? We have never seen it, so we have no idea how to treat it. Maybe the best way is just gonna play it conservative and you're just gonna go back home and eat something lighter and just rest. Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Okay. Follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Yeah. I can notice there are many people in the live chat room right now. So definitely follow me and continue. Let's continue with the story. So this Chinese friend, so he was like pretty desperate because like every day he was just carrying this big hemorrhoids, like going to work. And every time he sat down, it was like a whole torture, right? Whole torture. So it was very interesting. So that's why like he flew back to China, went to the hospital, and then he was like, so the other day when he was in the hospital in China and in Hangzhou, I remember in Hangzhou, and he said that, you know what? You know, I actually registered to see a doctor. However, that doctor somehow was away. So his intern doctor said that, okay, that's fine. Just take off your clothes. Let me take a look at it. So that intern doctor looked at his hemorrhoid and said that, okay, it's very commonly seen in here. Well, actually, do you want to wait for the doctor to do the surgery for you? Or I can do the surgery for you. You know, even though I am an intern doctor, but I have done it multiple times already, it might just take only like less than half an hour for me to get rid of that hemorrhoids. If you don't want to wait, then I can do it now immediately. If you want to wait, then wait till the afternoon and the doctor will be back to help you do the hemorrhoid removal surgery. That is like super easy. And so he happily got the hemorrhoid removed in China, you know, with the doctor. He didn't choose the intern doctor. However, so he shared the story with us because 沉浸式聊天真的沉浸式海聊，对对，是的，所以就是真的就是他就说 okay, so he was like, you know, he was very surprised about that because like when in many of the Chinese people's impression, we always feel like, you know, so in the West, people have a like, for example, especially for very developed countries like Germany, right? They should have more advanced technology, like more advanced healthcare, like more skillful kind of doctors, right? However, the kind of experience because we were having this kind of conversation and we were debating like in the east or the west, China versus the western worlds, like which has a better healthcare system, right? And then he was like, you know what, listen to me, I have this story to share. And you know what, that was the very first time I met him and he shared this story with me. You know, he's definitely a very interesting dude. The very first time I met him was in a dinner together with some other friends. So he was brought by another friend to the dinner, and like all of a sudden when we were discussing about the healthcare comparison, and he said, you know what, I have this story to share with you guys, and he started to share this story about his hemorrhoids. And I was like laughing to hell, you know, it was so hilarious to especially hear him sharing about the parts like where he was in Germany and so many doctors were in here watching his hemorrhoids and his other things, right? It was so funny. Yeah. Is there any Germany here, my friend? Can you guys tell me that is hemorrhoid a big disease in your country or not? Because he's so surprised. Yeah, so surprised. Well, so shocked that well actually that you know the German doctor had no idea how to treat his hemorrhoids, right? And then when he returned back to China, and even an intern doctor knows how to do the hemorrhoid removal surgery, and he could just do the surgery within 15 minutes and got rid of the surgery. Basically, just put some just 麻醉药. How to say 麻醉药? Yeah, 麻醉药怎么说麻醉药？麻醉药 inject the anesthetics. Yeah, so first of all, inject anesthetics, right? And then just start to do the removal, just remove it away. Yeah, elastics, yeah, something like that. Well, Troyes, you know about elastics, so you know you have done the surgery. Yeah. So yeah, guys, tell me, is hemorrhoid a very commonly seen disease in your country? I want to know. Yeah, and guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please, and keep on tapping the screen to sending likes. Okay, keep on tapping the screen to sending likes. Okay, elastics, so you know you have done the surgery. Yeah. So yeah, guys, tell me, is how much you did not know how to treat hemorrhoids like that? Like he was like so shocked, and like doctor could only say, "Oh, play it conservative." Yeah, play it conservative. Oh, you're lagging. Yeah, I was operated in 1996. I got it after childbirth. Yeah, it can be treated in Hong Kong. Yeah, Chinese saying, yeah, 十男九只嘛, 9 out of 10 men have it. Germany doesn't have doctors. No, okay, Mexico, yes. Everyone is saying like hemorrhoid is this hurts, Nytrix. Hector, have you done it before? Yeah, it hurts. Like people told me that people has done this surgery before, told me that once you have this hemorrhoids removed. So, well, it's very painful to have hemorrhoids. However, after you have the hemorrhoids removed, it's like also super painful. They say like whenever you were in toilet right after the surgery, right? When you're in toilet taking the dump, and then it feels like you're actually just I'm just gonna use the word, okay, you're just like shitting glasses, like broken glasses, and like if you feel like the glass is coming out of your asshole. Sorry guys for using all those kind of words. Okay, but I'm just being very okay, medical, okay? Okay, so it's like you're oh, okay, let's try to use some other nicer words. Yeah. 我们用一些排泄好一点的词啊。Your excrement is that the right word? Yeah, you're you know it's like you're just excrementing the broken glasses out of your ass. 恕我直言，我不知道同性恋者是否也会有这种感觉，这并不好笑，这是只是好。What do you mean by Vincent C? I actually don't quite understand it. Can you actually just translate it back into English? What do you mean, like by what? How do gays feel about it? Yeah, because so well, actually, I seriously don't know. Like, can you actually tell me about it? Okay, and anatomically correct term is anus. Anus or anus, not as. Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you so much, my friend. It's anus, right? Or anus. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna use those kind of very official terms to describe the whole thing. Okay. Yeah. So, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? So, and also you have to experience the pain of that. You know, oh, okay. Then I see what you mean. Okay, Vincent. Yeah. So you're asking with due respect, I wonder if homosexual guy will get it too. It's not funny. I think it doesn't matter about if it's homosexual or it's not homosexual. People just get it. But I see where you come from. I see where you come from. Like when you ask about it, it's because like if a homosexual guy have it, then how are they gonna have their bad activities, right? That's what you're asking, right? So yeah, so I think like Vincent C is like very serious when it comes to this question. So if there are people, homosexual friends, I think he's like being very serious when asking this question. To be honest, I myself am very curious to know about that too. Not funny. I'm also very curious about knowing that. So what if like homosexual friends, if you guys get it, what do you guys do? Like how do you guys do about it? Yeah, I do want to know what's about it too. Yeah. The other term may be correct for some orange guys. Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Yeah. Maybe we can research online what it is. Most get some sort of problems down there. Yeah. Mm. Get what? Get hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids. Okay. Yeah. Wait, so many. It also burns when you eat spicy food. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Drop what's this word? I've never seen this word. Number two. Sedentary work. Okay, you guys are teaching me English. Okay, what are all the polite and formal ways to describe the whole process? I'm so sorry that my friends that I I only know the very rude English to say everything. But thank you for teaching me. Yeah, but you guys know what I'm saying, right? So somehow you have to recover for a whole month, right? After recover for a whole month, then somehow like everything becomes normal and you're all back to good again. Yeah. But somehow like some people also said share that just don't easily do those kind of surgeries to remove hemorrhoids because also some people would suffer from problems like there are muscles around the anus, right? There are muscles around anus. So if you don't have a very big hemorrhoid problems, but still you have it removed, so some people would start to have the problems that there are muscles around their anus, then it's no longer very powerful, so they cannot control this how to say the 伸缩力张力. Yeah, they cannot control this 这个 how to say it in English? Oh my god. How to say it in English? 伸缩力啊，伸缩力，伸缩力，伸缩力。how to say it in English? like stretch, closing, opening. Yeah. Okay, that's easier. Yeah, yeah, Polo. That's a bit better way. That's a better way. Contractions. Yeah, yeah, contractions. Yeah, maybe I could just say open, close. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So back to the thing. So okay, guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Okay. So they also say that if you have a hemorrhoid problem, if the hemorrhoid problem is not big enough, just don't go to do the surgery. Because for some people, after they have done the surgery, even though the hemorrhoid is very small, somehow the muscles around the anus then lose the ability to stretch and contrast, open, close like before. So then that would cause the problems, another problem. It's called the sphincter muscle, right? Yeah, in Chinese it's called 括约肌，好像是，对吧？ There is a muscle around it. And then some people would then suffer from problems that, for example, they just walk on the street and all of a sudden the thing just come out of their anus, right? Because they don't they no longer have this kind of ability to control it, right? So you guys get what I'm saying, right? This is a very smelly this is a very smelly live stream today. Yeah. Is it today's topic? People are asking, is it today's topic? Yeah, so somehow we just discussed about it because yes, it's a pretty smelly kind of yeah, but I'm not actually making fun of it, right? You guys can tell, right? I'm eating. Oh, I'm sorry that you're eating, right? I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So also because hemorrhoid is such a big problem in China, there are so many contents out there on social media that teach people how you should how you should how you should just you know avoid certain behaviors so that you don't have hemorrhoids or you can relieve the hemorrhoid pain. Okay, you already know more than a German doctor now. Yeah, I do, because of that. My friend, because of that friend, he shares so much about hemorrhoid. Yeah, and also, like I said, like 9 out of 10 people have that kind of thing. So I even also have another friend, a very close friend of mine. He wanted to join the Air Force. So you know what? Also, it's also very interesting. So if he wanted to join the Air Force here in China, he had to have a body check, right? You cannot be short eyesighted to be in the Air Force. But many people know about that. But do you know also that you cannot have hemorrhoids to be in the Air Force? That is also very interesting. So the reason why he was not admitted, not recruited to that is because of hemorrhoids. And he didn't know that he has it. He didn't know that he has it until when he was having this body check and the doctor checked it. You know how doctor checked it? Doctor just press a finger into that place and then touch it, like that. And then the doctor after touched it and told him that, you know what, you actually has a hemorrhoid. And then he's like, what? I never realized I have a hemorrhoid. And then after the doctor said, like, you have a hemorrhoid, and doctor said, no, you're not coming. And then that's why he was not able to join. Yeah. So 什么？哇，美国人居然还会上当，真不敢相信他们已经注意到你。爸爸让我1小时后接你的班，什么东西？I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. So guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Okay. Well, if the e-commerce falls through, you can switch to proctology. Oh my God, Louis the Cat, you're so funny. Yeah. JT, you're right. So it's not like the test; it's like the body check. So how many of you guys have watched this movie? The movie is a very famous movie. 珍珠港, Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor. It was a very famous like Hollywood movie. 珍珠港. Let me see how to. What's the English name of it? The Chinese name is just called Pearl Harbor. I'm not so sure if the English name is also Pearl Harbor. It's also Pearl Harbor, right? Pearl Harbor. So like about like two like very best friends, like both wanted to be pilots, and then they fall in love with the same lady, right? You guys remember that movie, right? Have you guys watched that movie? Yeah. So if you remember in that movie, it's American movie, right? And both actors, it's just Pearl Harbor in English, right? Yeah. So if you guys have watched that movie and that Hollywood movie back then, I remember the two main actors. They were at the two actors and the actress. They are gorgeous. They're so beautiful. Like the two actors are so handsome. They're definitely at the time that they are like the best appearance, right? And also the girl is like so beautiful. Really enjoyed that. And if you remember, if you have watched that movie, there was a scene in it where this girl was a nurse, right? The main actress was a nurse, and then she was doing body check for all the pilots that was coming in. So I think in the US, you guys also have to have the body check in order to recruit pilots. So yeah, so likewise, yeah, just not so sure whether like in the US they would do this kind of like I said, the hemorrhoid check as we do in here. Yeah. So also like hemorrhoid so they would also so there are lots of things here in China that tells people like what are things you should and should not do in order to avoid having hemorrhoid problems, right? For example, one thing is that if you already have hemorrhoid, Also, they say that hemorrhoid is a symptom that shows that you're having too much heat to your body. Okay, we have shared before about this yin and yang system here in China, right? According to Chinese system, that everyone but inside everyone's body you have yin and you have yang. Yin would means something softer kind of power, and yang would means like something like some power kind of feeling, right? So having too much of some power means like having too much heat. So if you are having hemorrhoids, then that means like it's time you should eat lighter. Just don't eat like barbecues, don't eat pizza, don't eat what else, spicy foods, because all of those food are gonna just add to your body, add heat to your body. Okay, yeah, yeah. Let's talk about let's talk about prostate exams. Hey guys, you're being so bad to me. I'm a girl, right? And you're asking me to share all those kind of knowledge. Well, even though I know how prostate exams works, however, okay, I'm not gonna share that. Yeah, no spicy food if you have hemorrhoids, according to the Chinese medicine system. Okay, Chinese traditional medicine system. Okay, yeah, too much sun power equals burning booty hole. Yeah, too much sun power equals burning booty hole. Yeah. So you can notice, actually, like for those of my friends who, it's your fault. Yeah, it is my fault, my friend. How did you act in Crazy Rich Asian? Mm. Yeah, I watched Crazy Rich Asian, but I somehow forgot what it is about. I just only remember there's a very rich Asian Chinese. She recorded this again? No, 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 no more recording, only live. But because I got punished before. Yeah, girls probably don't mind the colon exam. What is colon exam? Yeah, change topic. I'm having breakfast. I'm sorry you're having breakfast. I'm gonna just speed up and finish very quick. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, and guys, follow me, please. Yeah, follow me, please. I brought up the topic. Yes, I did it. So my bad. Okay, my bad. Yeah. So in China, like we were saying that for people who are having hemorrhoids problems, well, for those of you who have like hemorrhoid problems, you can have a try. For example, well, you are having like a pretty okay time with your hemorrhoid, you're being friends with your hemorrhoid, and all of a sudden you just start to eat so many spicy food continuously for 2 days, and watch the size of your hemorrhoid. Is your hemorrhoid friend becomes bigger? It will. Okay, so something like that. So definitely avoid eating lots of like spicy food, or like eating barbecues, roasted kind of stuff. Like I know in the West people really like to eat roasted kind of beef, roasted chicken, right? Just don't eat all of those. Try to eat food that is cooked using boil, steam, because that is lighter. 我有水。谢谢。so that's a way of helping you to relieve that kind of pain. And also, they say another way of treating it, according to this my friend, right, this very same friend I shared with you guys, like also one way of doing it is every day you're gonna just how to say it in English? Okay, I might not use the correct words, but you guys can understand me. Okay, dip your beautiful butt into a bowl of hot water, warm water. Okay, I'm pretty sure I didn't use the right English words. Yeah, I shouldn't use the word dip, and I shouldn't use the word bowl. Okay, but like for people who know Chinese, can help me translate? Can teach me how to say it? 就是天天晚上要坐浴嘛，就是要把你的屁屁浸在这个一盆水里，温水里边，让温水去刺激它一下。How to say it? Like, but you guys get me, right? So, like, I say, well, it's not dip your butt into water. Like, what's the right word? Yeah, 坐浴怎么讲? It's like a sitting bath. Okay, it's like a sitting bath. Okay. However, like you're not sitting in a very big like bathtub. You're just sit spa. Yeah, sit spa. Yeah, so you're just sits in. Is soak the right word? Okay, just soak your butt, soak your lovely butt, and how to say panna, panna. Yeah, I noticed that in the Western worlds, people don't use 脸盆, face basin, right? Basin, right? Is that right word? Yeah, just soak into a warm water basin. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Right. Skinny dipping. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I used the word dipping. Yeah, was like not right. Yeah, so just for people who had this problem, they could just soak their lovely butt in a very warm water basin. It would be better if they could also put some 高锰酸钾. How do you say 高锰酸钾? 高锰酸钾. 高锰酸钾. I'm gonna look for it. 高锰酸钾. Potassium permanganate. Yeah, put some potassium permanganate into the water and then sit in there like every day. And they say it's good. And also, that's the second thing you could do. And also, another thing is just try to practice the muscle. For example, like we said before, like open close it, right? You can just practice it yourself, like open close it yourself. That's also like good for it. Yeah. So these are like all like in China, like many people do that. Yeah. So somehow, yeah, I learned that a lot from those friends who have this kind of problems. Yeah. So and guys, well, yeah, and eat more vegetables. Definitely eat more vegetables. So in summary, it's like more eat more vegetables, eat less like heat food. If we heat food would mean like spicy food, like barbecue food, like roasted food. So these are not so good, right? And also third is try to have sit bath every day and drink more water. Yeah, for sure. And then what else? What else? And also try to do this open close kind of practice. Yeah, so these are all those good ways of helping you with this hemorrhoid problems. Yeah, how many of you guys are practicing it right now? This open close of your muscle around your butthole. Yeah, open close, and open that practice is also said good for women who had babies. Yeah, because that's gonna make your okay, we're gonna be very serious. Okay, that's gonna make your vagina tighter. So by doing this very same exercise, so this exercise, this open close exercise is not good, not only good for men who have hemorrhoids, but also good for women. Okay, yeah, 凯格尔运动，对对对，yeah yeah yeah. So yes, just a Kegel exercise. Yes, Kegel exercise. Today is Dr. Nytrix hosting. Yeah, yeah. Strengthen the pelvic floor. Wait, what's pelvic? What does pelvic mean? Yeah, that's the first time I see this word. Gonna definitely learn it from our lovely Louis the cat. Pelvic. What's pelvic? 骨盆 ah yeah strengthen the pelvic floor. Yeah, so that the for women's down below it can be like this nitrous md. Yeah, so I'm actually learning new things tonight. Yeah, that's an area. Yeah, are you a doctor? I'm not a doctor. Okay, as a disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm only sharing the knowledge I know with you guys. Okay, some of the knowledge I learned from friends who here in China have hemorrhoids problems, and also like some of the things I learned from Red Note. So these are all other kind of things I learned. Yeah, so definitely requires lots of practice. Definitely, yeah. Somehow I am practicing this myself unconsciously. How many of you guys are practicing it too? I heard that exercise are good for yeah, you're right, Paulo Mendes, because like I said, so like very seriously, okay, no jokes, like by doing this Kegel exercise, by just practicing to open close your butthole, like doing that, you can just actually try it. So at the same time when you're closing, contrasting your butthole, like you also would feel, for females, okay, for women you would also feel like vagina is also closing at the same time. So that is good for making women's vagina to be tighter. Yeah, so actually like really serious about talking about that. Okay, no, not making fun. Okay, so that's why that yeah, so that's why I like sharing it. Okay, yeah, hopefully nothing falls out. Oh, my friend, little Simon well, maybe you can just go to the bathroom first, make sure everything is cleared, and then start the practice. Yeah, she makes me actually want to learn. Yeah, good. Guys, follow me, please, okay? Follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Yeah. Oh, Kegels. Yeah, so many females know about it, right? When I shared about this exercise, right? Contract, stretch your buttholes. Like women immediately know it's Kegels, right? Kegels. Yeah. So yeah. So also like, oh my God, like, there are people literally eating breakfast. So let's be nice, okay? Let's be nice, bro. Why are you share this information? Yeah. Kegels exercise is like very common in here. Like lots of the women after they having babies, there are several problems. Like for example, especially you have like a natural birth, it's not like C-section, right? So then you will have like the problems with a looser vagina. Like you want to tighten it, and also for example, what's it called? 这个腹直肌分离. So the muscles in you can actually feel like for women's like me who haven't had babies, the muscle in here is like very close to each other. However, for a woman who has babies, the muscles are like very far apart. You can put like three fingers between the two muscles, and they are also exercise to help you to put all the muscles back in together. Yeah. Listen, I've seen. Hey, what happens to my phone?啊怎么回事？我的手机没电了吗？What happened to my phone？哦，今天数据这么好，也不行了。Frozen。OK。啊啊！What's frozen？Why James？